And that led Rob Goh at NextView to write a piece, which many people picked up on, which I'm summarizing very, very badly, but essentially saying that 90% of seed funds are cooked, fighting the mega platforms, YC. It's pretty much impossible for this generation of seed funds. I wanted to hear your thoughts on this because it did take a light in the ecosystem.
Well, one, listen, he's been around. It's thoughtful, right? It's a little dramatic, right? As someone who's just been through some drama, did not intentionally, but it's a little dramatic. I would, as someone who's done okay, maybe not a generational seed investor, but he's 10x lifetime with a bunch of $1 billion exits with a decent brand. I agree. I think, listen, there's so much competition at seed.
Specifically, what do you agree with?
I think this low dilution $50 million seed competing with a multi-stage fund, you as a seed fund, you can do some of those deals to put them on your website, but you have to hunt. You either have to hunt ultra early, right? The bold start vibe, there's a point to what they're saying. You have to hunt so early or create your own accelerator or do HFO or do whatever that it doesn't matter because you're hunting earlier than everybody else. Or and I know this is trite, you got to hunt where they're not hunting.
Yeah.
You got to hunt where they're not hunting. And because even if you win that deal as a seed, even if you beat Andreessen,
you lose.
And Andreessen's offering 50 and you say, listen, the best I can do is 30. And I've done this multiple times because 30 is the highest price I pay. It's on my website. So there's multiple deals I've done where the price has been 30. Okay. Owner, we've talked about, and others, they're all 30 because I'm honest, and a founder, and they'll do it sometimes, but there's a limit to that. Even if it's the investor they want, there's a limit, right?
But Jason, if I was your partner, I would legitimately push back on that and say,
as you should.
Rippling Seed was done at 35.
Yeah.
And I think it was Keith Raboy that didn't do it when Gary Tan did, because Keith wouldn't pay more than 25 and Gary was willing to pay 35. Saying an arbitrary number like 30.
It's not arbitrary, though. That's the difference.
Okay, but 35 versus 30 makes no difference.
And you're right. And listen, I wish I had invested in Rippling, and it would, and I did know Parker then, and I would have done it at 35 because if you know somebody or there's a reason, of course you do, right? But I think Rob's point was in general, right? You do it. Fund construction still matters, okay, for the most part, unless you have a strategy where it doesn't matter, unless it's just absolute return. Ownership doesn't matter. I do believe in that. But but I'm not in that category. I'm in the category where fund construction matters. And you should make exceptions, maybe even on every deal, but you have to come up with a framework where on a spreadsheet, it still makes sense at the end of the day. And so for me personally, when I make an exception, right, it's an asterisk. It's a no. So that what I tell myself when I make an exception is, Jason, the next deal you can't. I got to go out and find the one that counts. And that's how I keep my sanity when I make an exception. It's like, okay, this one wasn't quite your model, but it's okay, but go find one that is.
It's like a diet. I had chocolate cake today. I'll starve tomorrow. I got it.
But a little bit. Yeah. And it's worth it.
Because we went off. I thought it was a great essay. Right. Let's start with that. Right. First comment. Really great. Now, I'm going to say a couple things. One is, as you say, the TLDR, Harry, is, per your summary, via a combination of Y Combinator and the full stack firms, the average seed firm is cooked. That's, as you said, the summary of it. Let's get real here.